Good afternoon, everyone. Nor'easter that just rolled over the northeastern U.S. Minimum 200,000 people without power. Electrical poles down, trees down, roads blocked. New snow records being set in Boston and Worcester. But then just last year, Worcester broke snow records. And Boston broke its all-time most snow record for a full winter. The Atlantic multi-decadal oscillation is decreasing, Florida's freezing, and yes, there's a fourth nor'easter on the way, which is going to usher in the U.S. super freeze after that storm passes. We're heading into a grand solar minimum, and the weather's expected to be even more ferocious over the next 3 years. This is your playbook right here. As the wave pattern widens, our weather is going to become more extreme. It's not CO2, it's not you. It's the sun and our magnetosphere and a grand solar minimum. And while you're watching the video, please remember to subscribe to Adapt 2030 and click that bell so you can get the latest updates. Stunning satellite imagery showing you the nor'easter that just pounded the northeastern United States. Stu put together a nice collage here, March 2nd, March 7th, and March 13th. And then we can add a fourth one over there, March 18th or March 20th, somewhere in there. A fourth nor'easter is going to hit the exact same area. And the media will have you believe it's because of CO2 and climate change induced by human activity, yet they just don't look at the effects from our sun. Our magnetosphere is weakening as our sun enters a grand solar minimum. The name of this grand solar minimum is the EDDY, E-D-D-Y, grand solar minimum. I encourage you to look also at the Maunder, M-A-U-N-D-E-R, Maunder minimum, and see what happened with the weather systems at that time as well. And winter just won't let go. Arctic air all the way down into Florida for a freeze in mid-March, pushing toward April. Temperatures already looking something like this, 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit below normal. Wide out here so you can see what the temperature strata is from Georgia all the way down to Key West. And yes, those peach shades, those are in the 30-degree Fahrenheit range. And if nobody's told you, the Atlantic multi-decadal oscillation, the AMO, and that area of the Atlantic Ocean, smack under Greenland and Iceland, in the middle between the UK and the Maritimes of Canada, cooling, and you just have to wonder if this is having any effect on the environment, as it also is in a 60-year cyclical pattern. These grand solar minimums, they come once every 400 years on the intensity scale of something that's going to reset our food growing regions on the planet. And as you can see from this point forward, we are going down in solar activity. So enter the American super freeze coming up on the 21st of March. These temperatures will be anywhere between 8 and say 12 degrees Celsius below normal. Not Fahrenheit, but Celsius, so you have to do the conversion. And you're looking at about, 15, 18 degrees Fahrenheit below normal temperatures. But let's get back to the third nor'easter in 2 weeks, blanketing and knocking out power to 200,000 plus people, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire. And that storm is pushing west. A few locations around Massachusetts, cross-country skiers heading down the streets, no traffic, obviously. Trees collapsing. They have a couple live images here. As those are pretty large trees are coming down. Power poles coming down. You can see why there's so many power disruptions. Transportation, don't want to be driving in this, even though that is a slew of road clearing. So you realize that they just cleared that road. Those trucks in front of that, that's all the better they could clear it. Can you imagine where the roads haven't been cleared yet? And look at that heavy, wet snow just bending the trees over. Police put the bus across the road to close the highway. This was not an accident, but it makes a great photo. Snow depth totals in somebody's backyard on their lawn furniture. And as was forecast, this snow is going to continue pushing west and it's going to wrap back in on itself. But notice that line extending all the way down through Tennessee, North Carolina, and down into Georgia with the squall snow. And again, as this thing pulls back in on itself, it's going to rip down Arctic air. And this is going to make for just a chilly, relentlessly cold week across the eastern seaboard. And these cold temperatures are going to push all the way down into Florida. Now you're looking at the snow total map. West Coast, East Coast, it continues. Even the buds in DC are pushed back at least 10 to 14 days due to the cool. The observed storm, snowfall totals right here for you. National Weather Service. Anywhere in that dark red is where you're looking for new records being set. Local news picking it up here. Snowfall totals, 24 inches plus 27. You find us all over the place from Providence, Rhode Island, all the way up into Worcester, setting new snow records. But Vermont also getting in on the action. Don't want to be driving down that road. That looks terrifying. New Hampshire, 27 inches as well. Taking a look at the temperatures over the next couple of days into Friday and Saturday. Anywhere is darker blue, 0 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius, Fahrenheit. New snow records. Southern New England. Let's look at Boston. 14.5 inches, the old record. 12.3 in the blizzard of 93. That was the superstorm of the century, that storm. This one broke those records. Worcester, 21.8 inches, breaking the old record, 14.8. Again, it was that super blizzard back in 93. But when we're looking at one-day snowfall totals or a single day or a season, you can get a gauge here on how deep that is. Jeeps are sliding off the road. You know it has to be pretty bad. Now I just want to drop back in time until last year. Worcester, another snowfall record falling. That was just last year. And then if we take a step back to 2015, all-time snowiest season on record in Boston. Now, are you kidding me? 2015, 2017, 2018, and the records just keep dropping, moving forward. Al Gore told us our children would never know what snow was, that snow would be a thing of the past. And here we are breaking snow records again and again, eclipsing old records in 2018. And while going through the snow totals, I found this most bizarre. Forecaster here stood in front of the information. There was only 3 places where you could actually glimpse it. She's been standing in front of the average where the white line was, or she was blocking the 20.6. There's only one screen grab where she's not in front of the averages or that other, what would be a misnomer on 2013. It's really interesting how she obscured that information while giving it. This is a professional broadcasting network. Why is she standing in front of the information to obscure it, so clearly obscuring it on purpose, in my opinion? You can agree or disagree. I encourage you to watch the video and draw your own conclusion, but the average is 7.4 inches, and here they are at 21.5. That's 3 times the average. And also, that 20.6 was some reason very clearly blocked out of your view there. So anyway, moving forward, this is the roadmap going out. We're talking about the grand solar minimum. That's what my channel is based around. Crop losses that are going to drive your food price, and it's going to reset our society. We are only moving from that yellow into the green. The wider the spread on the wave, the more intense the weather is going to be. This is based on the magnetic dynamo in the sun as we enter this grand solar minimum. This is not about CO2. This is about our sun's magnetic field splitting, canceling each other out in the wave. So that last 6 months of 2017 coming into 2018, we saw an enormous amount of mix-ups in the weather. Now we are splitting again into a 4 times more intense split from that. This 2018 moving into 2019 is expected, what you're seeing right now. Now we have a 4th nor'easter coming in, and the wave is about to split further through the summer and into the next winter. And then we go from 2018 to 19, and it's going to split again into a 6 times increase over what happened these last 6 months. And then we're going to get up into 2020, where there's massive crop losses are going to wipe out our yields across the planet, and you are going to experience food where you're paying 5, 6, 10 times what you are today. And we just need to look back at the modern minimum and take a look where these same events are happening on our planet right now. Warming Alaska, colder than normal temperatures across New England states, pushing down Florida, cooler than normal. And then we'll take a look at directly over the Arctic Circle so you can really see where it was cool. And obviously right over the Great Lakes regions, right into that New England area, cooler than normal, which means more snows. This is just a repeating cycle, especially when you look in Africa. Moroccan snowstorms that came with all-time record snow across Morocco, and there's more snow on tap next week with really incredibly low temperatures near freezing in Spain, coming up the same time that the U.S. super freeze is about to come up the 21st. This is amazing to look at the similarities between these two, and the media keeps feeding us that it's CO2. I really don't know how much longer the narrative is going to last because this information's out. It's clear for you to see, and I hope you do your own research. Linked everything below. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. And please remember, you are going to have to supplement and start to grow your own food. And with that said, some of the best seeds on the market, heirloom and organic seeds up at trueleafmarket.com. I put my Adapt 2030 link below. You can support me that way and also get an incredibly quality product. You can start experimenting with what's right for you in your grow zone and enjoy the summer and have some of your own fresh vegetables.